Welcome to Rick's Corner. I have a girl today, a woman, a lady, a friend who is a professional wrestler and bodybuilder for many, many years. She has a very big resume. If you check her Wikipedia, she has a lot of history in professional wrestling and bodybuilding with titles all the way up and down. And it's my honor to have Jennifer Thomas here. And I just saw her in the gym and we shrugged through the rain to get back to my studio because it's pouring, really pouring here. But I thought Jennifer would have a lot to say because she does have a good history. You're a well-seasoned wrestler and bodybuilder, and you know the business.
I do know the business, and I have a love-hate relationship with the business, but overall it's been a blessing, I have to say.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for bodybuilding and if it wasn't for wrestling and everything that's come in between.
I totally agree with you. Now, you started out in track and field when you were younger?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I've always been kind of like an athlete growing up.
Yeah.
You know? And PE was, of course, my favorite class, and I always got an A in it. But running has just always came natural for me. And I never even knew that I was anything good at running until I went into high school and started doing track and field.
Yeah.
And that's been kind of like my root, my base for everything that's happened.
Well, normally running is not fun. You know, I mean, it's work.
Yeah.
It is work. Did you have, at that time, a weight problem? Did I read that?
I did after I had my son.
Yeah.
You know.
How old is your son?
He's 25 now.
Have I ever met him?
No, I don't think so. Not yet.
Does he live here?
He's in Washington.
Oh, Washington. Okay.
Yes.
And so, this is what you decided to start taking the weight off?
Yeah, I figured, you know what? I'm not meant to be this heavy because I've always been an athlete.
Yeah.
And I've kept that weight on for like 5 years, and I was just kept on getting bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to put a stop to it. So I'm like, what can I do to lose this weight?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's my history? My history is running.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just going to run this shit off. And then pretty much that's what I did.
Well, then what was it, 2003 was it? You got into bodybuilding?
Yes.
Am I right on that date?
Yeah, kind of like, I actually got into it probably like a little bit earlier, like 2001.
Okay.
Was my first bodybuilding show up in the Vancouver, Washington.
Yeah, I know the area.
And then I did the Emerald Cup 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And it just was like amazing. Like, I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would be going from this chubby woman that all she did was sit around and eat all day to being up on stage flexing my muscles. I didn't even know I had
that's how it happens.
Muscles.
It comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And the thing is that you get bitten by the bug, the bodybuilding bug, let's say, and you go into it and you think, okay, if I want to do this, I'm going to do it right?
Mm-hmm, exactly.
So you structured your workout, and it's an old school style workout probably?
Pretty much, and I never really changed it either.
No?
No.
You divide your body parts up?
Well, I don't really have much of a program right now.
All right, let's just say you went to the gym today. What'd you do?
All I did was cardio today.
Okay.
That's
What
all I had time
what about
for.
on a weight day?
On a weight day? I'll mix things up. I kind of just go by with what I feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right now, I used to be very like 2 body parts, you know, back and buys, so many machines for and everything. I wish I was more like that still, but I've kind of relaxed.
Okay, let me say something. I'm the same way, and I've been the same way for all the years I've been training. But then again, in the past year or two, I thought, and Joe Wieters used to say this, go by your instincts. Go in and see what you feel like doing. So I do. So I went into the day and I saw a friend of mine, let's do some back, and we did some delts because we're doing back and rear delts and all that. And I said, God, I had a great workout. It was just off the top of my head. I decided to do it, and it works. And I've been doing that for the past year, getting even better results than I did when I was so regimented doing the body parts all the time. But I think the homework is the key to the diet.
Yeah.
So you restructured that too.
You cannot outrun a bad diet.
No, I like that. I like that a lot. So what happened when you realized that you also had to lose weight and structure your diet? What did you change it to?
What did I structure?
What were you eating that you got rid of?
Oh, well, I just pretty much cut out any kind of junk food. Yeah. You know, but I didn't even know like nutrition. Like I would still eat brown rice. I mean, not brown rice. I still eat white rice. I would still eat stuff that like in a bodybuilding diet they would probably tell me not to eat. I'd still eat fruit. Yeah. You know, as long as it wasn't candy, pizza, or something as a junk food, I stopped eating it. Yeah. And it's amazing the difference that you can make with just cutting out those wrong foods.
Totally. I don't think that fruit is that bad.
I don't think so.
White, brown rice, I don't think it really matters. I don't eat a lot of it either way, but I like a little fruit, maybe in the middle of the day, just a banana, an apple or something, just by itself, not with the protein.
I used to feel so guilty for just eating raisins. Yeah. You know, and I'm glad that I escaped that, but that was for competition. And when you're doing competitions, it's so strict.
And it makes a huge difference.
It does make a huge difference.
And you try to explain that to a normal person. I said, but I like all that. Now I can't lose weight. Well, you really have to stick tight to it for weeks, and then you can have some junk. and then you go back to it, and then you can have some junk. And after a while, you don't want the junk anymore.
Yeah.
So you won quite a few titles in bodybuilding.
I transferred from bodybuilding to figure, and I won a lot in figure.
Did you?
And figure just started when I was kind of like just getting on it when I first started.
Tell me the difference, or tell them the difference between bodybuilding and figure.
I think figure is more feminine.
Yeah, there's no question about it.
So when I saw the first place winner of bodybuilding, my first show, I was an all-natural show, I did bodybuilding. Came first, won the overall. Then I went 2 weeks later to the Emerald Cup. We know the Emerald Cup is not, all natural.
Yeah.
I came in dead last, and I remember looking at the first place winner, and I said, if that's what I have to look like to be a pro female bodybuilder, I don't want it. Yeah. And so thankfully figure was coming in right at that time, and I jumped on that.
Well, bodybuilding for men and women has changed so much over the years, with all the drugs they do. And I'm not against drugs. I mean, I take testosterone myself at my age, but it's made animals out of a lot of people and changed their bodies so much they're not even pleasing to look at anymore.
They don't even have women's bodybuilding categories.
I heard.
That's amazing to me.
Yeah.
So, and think about those women that did take that route. They can't reverse it. They can't. They're always going to be sounding a certain way, looking a certain way.
Yes.
You can't take it away.
What about the Hawaiian Tropic sunsuit or swimsuit?
That was fun.
Tell me how that works. I'm not quite sure what that competition is.
It's been so long I actually forget how.
I just talked to somebody else who does that now. She's a very tall trainer, and she wants to come on the show. We're going to have her on for sure, but she really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun.
Basically, Hawaiian Tropics is like the bikini division for, the NPC.
I see.
It's kind of like Hawaiian Tropics. I don't even think exists anymore. It's gone.
No.
So, and it's been gone for a while. But it's pretty much you just, they're looking for a bikini physique.
Right.
And I had that when I lost all that weight. I didn't have that much muscle on me at the time. And you just get to strut your stuff. And I love strutting my stuff.
Well, I think that's a much better way to look anyway. Okay. So now we're going into professional wrestling.
Yes.
This is something I'm sure you took a lot of crap over like I did.
Yes.
From our peers and our friends and our family. Why in the world would you pick something like that to do? There's some desire inside that tells you, I want to try it, right?
Yeah, I really felt like, for me, it wasn't that I actually laughed at it at first. When it was first proposed to me, I'm like, whatever, it's cheesy, it's fake, it's this, it's that. I was just whatever, because I never really was a wrestling fan, and that's what amazes me today, that I am so passionate about wrestling, and I love wrestling, but I never have a background of being a fan of wrestling.
Yeah.
It just does something for me where I'm challenged. I'm challenged spiritually, I'm challenged physically, I'm challenged on all levels.
Okay.
And it helps me grow as a person as far as pro wrestling. But as far as how I initially got into it, like I said, I laughed it off at first. And then I decided to go to UPW, Britt Bassman.
Of course, and you also were trained by Navajo Warrior.
Yeah, I went off to Arizona and was training with him for a couple of years. And it was the hardest. I mean, I cried in the bathroom for who knows how long, because it's not easy. It's
not easy, and people don't realize it, and they sit home and watch it, and they eat their popcorn and drink their beers and say, I can do that. They're not really getting hurt, but you get hurt, and no one realizes that everything you do in the ring that's a hold or a move can be used to an advantage on the street, and it's real deal. And in the ring, when you're wrestling, you're working with somebody else. Of course, you don't want to get hurt, but accidents happen all the time. And then you walk out and say, my God, what am I doing? I was off for a year or two, and I got in the ring with John Studd once at the Olympic, and he gave me a suplex. The guy's 7 feet tall, and I hit so hard, I said, why am I doing this again? But you go back.
Once you hit a certain point, because there's a lot of people that start, and it's kind of like they disappear.
Yes, they do.
But if you hang in there, it's that you connect with it. And once you connect with it, I don't think you're ever going to let go of it.
No, you have to understand there's a storyline. You have to understand what to do in the ring, not overdo, what to sell, how to connect with the audience, how your charisma is what works for you, because you have charisma, and you have to have that. You just don't get in the ring and become an overnight superstar like people who call me here. Oh, I want to be a wrestler after 6 weeks, but will I be ready to go for WWE? And I said, no, don't even think about it. It takes years.
Even if they have the look.
Yeah.
Well,
two of us have known a lot of people that have the look, and they get signed, they get released.
Yeah.
They don't cut it.
Because they don't have what's in the inside.
Right. So you had a contract with WWE, or was it WWF?
No, it was a developmental.
Okay.
And I was able to train with the contract people with Al Snow.
Oh, Al Snow.
Yes.
Al Snow.
There you
Al,
go.
I'm the ambassador for his website, Collar and
Yes.
Elbow, and he gives me all these shirts and I wear them. What a great guy.
He is a great guy, and he was a great, great, great instructor.
Yes, he's one of the
There was
best.
so much more. Like, he was really one of the best instructors as far as showing that in the ring, it's not just all about moves. You have to tell a story.
Exactly.
And I never really understood that.
Right. Less is more.
Yeah. How do you work a crowd without doing 10 million bumps?
Exactly. Yeah,
You know?
we're still in touch all the time. He's definitely good at what he does. He has schools now in England. He's advanced out and has places everywhere. So when you got your first match, what did you feel when you walked into the ring? How did you feel about that? Were you worried or scared or
Oh,
nervous?
heck yeah. Oh my God, yeah. In fact, I'm already feeling those feelings right now.
The
Just
anxiety?
thinking about it.
Yeah, the anxiety?
Yeah, I was just so worried. And
All you really need to know is the finish.
no, that's if you're a true worker. That's
Yeah.
all you need to know.
Yeah.
I don't even think I'm at that point yet. I'm still green.
But once you started and you got into it, you kind of relaxed after a while.
No, I have never felt relaxed yet.
Really?
Except this very last show that I did was the first time in 13 years that I just let all that go.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I'm just going to go with the flow.
And just have fun.
Because nothing ever goes as planned. Life doesn't go as planned, and a match never goes as planned when you pre-plan it.
No, you can't pre-plan it. You can't pre-plan anything.
So,
But you wrestle in Japan?
yeah, I wrestled in Japan on a tour with the Ballard brothers. And
How was that? I know it's pretty different over there.
well, it was for the military bases.
Okay.
So it was different, you know, and I played the whole G.I. Jane kind of military gimmick, and that was a lot of fun.
Did you work with the Americans or the Japanese?
The Americans.
Because the Japanese are stiff.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad I
Yeah, I know. I know
I
people
worked
get
with the
really hurt
Americans.
with those guys over there.
Yeah, but it was a great experience.
And you've had some titles?
Yeah, I've had some titles. Don't ask me what they are because I forget them. I don't ever keep track of
No, I don't either.
my accomplishments.
No, but it's good to have photos and videos and stuff
I have a
like that.
whole bag right now in my backyard that's getting rained on, full of accomplishments. And they're
Yeah.
just sitting in my metrics bag.
I hope they're not getting soaked.
Oh, I'm sure they are, but, you know, I can just dry them off.
So, all right. So you've gone through the bodybuilding, gone through the wrestling, and what are you doing now?
I'm still doing everything.
Are
I'm
you?
still like going to the gym, but I have not competed. I don't really have a desire to compete right now because I've put so much different things on my plate. It's hard to focus on just one and dedicate all my time to that just one.
Yeah. Well, it's hard.
You know, so I feel like I'm juggling a few things, but everything that I'm juggling, I'm passionate about.
Well, that's okay because you can do that. I do the same thing. You have many little pots that are boiling, and you just got to keep the fire going so they all burn and then they accumulate into something after a while.
Right.
You can't let them go. Sometimes you put one on the back burner if it's not going the way you want, but then you bring it forward at some point and then it works out.
Exactly.
But you never know what's going to work out because the least thing you're working on is the one that works out for you.
Right.
It
Isn't
just
that
happens.
amazing?
It's amazing how it happens like that. You're not doing any wrestling now, or you are?
I am. I did my last show for Maverick Pro Wrestling, and where I wrestled Katie Lee, Virgil, or Katarina Waters. You know, we all change our names
Of course.
throughout our careers.
I'm changing my name.
Are you?
Yeah.
Too?
I'm going to change my first name to Next. N-E-X-T. Do you know why?
Why?
Because when they're waiting in line somewhere and they say, "Who's next?" I'm going to say, "That's me."
There you go.
And I'll always be in the front of the line. And you're still training like bodybuilders. I mean, you train hard.
Yeah, I still train because I don't want to lose it. I don't want to focus so much on. I'm a Libra. I'm all about balance.
Okay.
So I don't want to lose my physique just because I'm no longer competing anymore.
Yeah, I don't think you have that problem at all.
You know, I still want to look like I'm in shape.
Right.
To where if I do ever decide to compete, I'm not so far behind and I can
Okay.
kind of snap right back into it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you stayed right there on the edge. I mean, we all
Yeah.
do. I mean, I'm the same school you are. And then within a couple of weeks, I know if I really tighten up, I can be right where I want to be.
Right.
It's harder as you get older. There's no question about it. It just doesn't come together as quick as possible. But you still have to stay somewhat and work on it a little bit.
Yeah, and especially if you're doing the wrestling stuff too, doing the wrestling shows. I've always been a believer that I want to look the part.
Yeah, oh
and I
yeah.
want to be believable for the audience.
Yes, of course.
What do I look like when I make my entrance? Do I look like a wrestler? I know
You
I look
have
like
to.
a wrestler.
Because so many people today, and you've seen these in the indies, they don't work out. They wear a t-shirt. They're afraid the fat's going to come out of the shirt, so they keep pulling the shirt down during a match, which is like, if you're in a real fight, why'd you keep tucking your shirt in? You shouldn't be aware of that. You should be doing your moves and working. But a lot of people don't get it. They don't want to buy the gear. They don't want the shoes. They don't want the boots. They don't want the tights. They don't want the look. They just think they're going to get in a ring and put some music on and jump up in the air and be a champion. So it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
Where people want to reach you now, where's the best place on the internet?
Well, I have my website, which is basically a site full of mixed female. It's basically wrestlers who do mixed wrestling.
Okay.
And that's sessiongirls.com.
Okay.
And I have a profile on there, and it's under Jennifer Thomas. And if anyone wants to email me or anything, it's jennifer@sessiongirls.com.
Okay.
And for any kind of bookings or appearances, I know that I'm going to Prague in April.
Oh, how nice.
For an appearance and to also fight.
Oh, good for you.
So that's going to be exciting. I've never been there.
Does this keep you pretty busy?
This does keep me busy.
As busy as you want to be, right? You
Yeah,
book your own, you book your stuff or not book your stuff?
I actually need to cut stuff away.
Yeah.
Because it's just, I get too overwhelmed.
Yeah.
There's not enough Jennifer to go around.
I get it. Well, I'm really glad you came over and we did this. And for you people, you want to look Jennifer up. She's a wonderful woman. Known her a long, long time. She's down to earth. She's sweet. She's honest. She's sensitive. And she's a nice person, which is really rare today. And that's very important.
Thank you, Rick.
And thank you so much.
You haven't seen me when I'm hungry yet. I'm just playing.
I'm always hungry.
I'm just playing.
I know you are.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you guys for watching Rick's Corner, and stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time.
Mwah.
RickDrasin.com. He is the equalizer, baby. See you next time.